the water shooting up your ass, into your nose, compacting into your ears, and you get dragged 25 feet, your skis are all the way back here. And you're just like, fuck this, like people do this for fun. The problem is when people start doing this, a lot of them are trepidatious that this is the right career path for them. So they stick one toe in, they're not fully bought in, they're afraid to even post on their fucking Instagram that they're a real estate agent. And they never really get off the ground. You know, the best analogy that I have for starting real estate is if you've ever gone water skiing. I guess we can start this live. Anybody raise your hand if you've gone water skiing? All right. So you guys haven't gone water skiing. I want to paint a vivid picture in your mind of what water skiing is like. Okay. First off, you put this life jacket on. Okay. So you're floating in the water. You're behind the boat. Okay. You got these giant skis strapped to your feet, which are buoyant. So they want to kind of float up, but you got to like kind of control them. And then you got the rope. So you got to sit there, excuse me, Melinda, you got to sit there. I just don't have that lower ab strength to be able to demonstrate. You got to sit there with your feet locked in. They got to stay straight, okay, holding the tow rope, and then the boat starts moving. The problem is your skis want to go like this and this, so you got to really stay hard to keep them straight, okay, bend your knees a little bit, and then you use the water resistance pushing you to get on top of the water, okay? The problem is it's really fucking tough to do. And what ends up happening is usually one foot's going to kind of go this way, and then you're like you don't know when to let go, and then it's too late. You've had the water shooting up your ass, into your nose, compacting into your ears, and you get dragged 25 feet. Your skis are all the way back here, and you're just like, fuck this. Like people do this for fun, right? But if you really want to do it, what do? You do the same shit again.
Practice.
Right? You got to get back behind it and do it again. But the first couple times where you hold on to that tow rope thinking like somehow if I keep holding on, things will work out. Like, no, you're going the fucking wrong. When your skis are behind you, like water skier. But it's trial and error. But when you fuck up water skiing, like it sucks, right? You get like a water enema, you get water up your nose, you get like lake water, you know, river water, whatever sludgy water you definitely don't want in your mouth. It's disgusting. Okay.
So would you compare that to rejection?
I'm comparing that to every aspect of real estate, right? Like in the beginning, this job sucks. And if you're doing it the right way, it probably sucks a lot, right? Because you're pouring your heart and soul and time and energy and money into this business, seeing very little come back to you, right? Which is why patience is important, but patience alone is not going to be the thing that makes you successful. It's the build, measure, learn. It's the try something, see what impact it has, right? Measure. So build, try, do something, measure, and then learn. What did you learn from it? And then you rebuild, right? And it doesn't mean you're scrapping the initial thing. It's usually building on the initial thing. What a lot of agents do is they try one thing, realize it doesn't really work, give it up, and then try something else. But they never really, it's push-up theory, right? You can't do one push-up today, another push-up next Thursday, another push-up the Tuesday after that, anything's going to happen. You also can't do 320 push-ups today and then never do another push-up and wonder why they don't work, right? You've got to do this stuff on a regular basis. And it's like trying to get to 100 push-ups a day. And then when you can finally do 100 push-ups a day, your next goal is 200 push-ups a day, right? And then you're also incorporating sit-ups and pull-ups. Right? Like you have to be constantly like getting better at this. I think the analogy I gave with running the other day was that when you get really good at running sucks even more. Okay. If you can get your mile time down to 6 miles, 6-minute miles, and then at a certain point, like you're not out of breath, or you're able to jog a 6-minute mile pretty comfortably, you're not getting better. Right, so if you want to get better, you need to get to that same point of being out of breath, elevated heart rate, sweating your ass off. It's just constantly pushing yourself. And a lot of people running a business, whether it's being a real estate agent or any other business, they just don't have it in them. The thing about real estate is that it takes very little sacrifice to get started. The sacrifice happens after you get started. And that's where a lot of people, they kind of swim up to the shoreline of real estate, and then they get on the battleground. They're like, oh shit, this is way tougher than I thought. And they abort. and then they end up getting a shit job, right? Because this is, the reality is that the barrier of entry into this business is very low. It's a 2-week course. I know it takes everybody 4 or 5 months to do, but it's 77 hours, 40 hours a work week, right? So in 2 weeks. And I've seen people do it in a lot less than 2 weeks. But because there's such a low barrier of entry into this business, people get started in this business when they don't have better options elsewhere. Okay. Most people don't look at a $200,000 job offer and say, you know what, I think I want a commission only job offer where there's no guaranteed income. I think I'll be a real estate agent, right? Which means to me is that the majority of people that come through the door with a new license probably don't have great alternative options outside of real estate. The way I think about it is, if you can't show up to a 10 or 10:30 in the morning starting time, and you can't work throughout the day and then go home and work a little bit on your own and stay on top of your emails, the alternative is you get a shittier job where you aren't your own boss. You're reporting to somebody and maybe somebody else. You got to show up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, right? And if you can't, then you're fired. The problem is people are shitty when they're their own boss. They're shitty employees and shitty bosses. What gives? I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that.